Athanasios Thanasi Kokkinakis is an Australian professional tennis player. He has been ranked as high as world number 69 in singles by the ATP, which he first achieved on June 8, 2015. He has won one ATP Tour title in singles and produced his best major singles performance at the 2015 French Open by reaching the third round. Kokkinakis also has a career-high doubles ranking of world number 17 which he attained on October 31, 2022 after winning the 2022 Australian Open and reaching the semi-finals of 2022 Miami Open with countryman Nick Kyrgios. As a junior, Kokkinakis was ranked as high as number 10 in the world. He won one junior Grand Slam title, the doubles title at the 2013 Wimbledon Championships with partner Nick Kyrgios, and was the runner-up in two additional junior Grand Slam singles finals that same year. As a professional, Kokkinakis broke into the top 100 for the first time in 2015, during which he won one title on the ATP Challenger Tour and made the fourth round of an ATP Masters 1000 tournament for the first time at the 2015 Indian Wells Masters. After an injury-plagued 2016, he reached his first ATP Tour finals the next year, when he won the 2017 Brisbane International Doubles title with Jordan Thompson but lost at the 2017 Los Cabos Open in singles to Sam Querrey. In 2018, Kokkinakis won two additional challenger titles and ended the year having re-entered the top 150. However, over the next 2 years, further injuries prevented him from regularly competing on the professional circuit, but he made his return in 2021 and he reached two challenger finals, of which he won one. He continued his comeback in 2022 and appeared in his first ATP Tour final in 5 years at the 2022 Adelaide International 2, in which he prevailed in front of a hometown audience to secure his maiden ATP title. Personal life. Kokkinakis was born in Adelaide to Greek immigrant parents, Trevor from Kalamata, Greece, and Voula from Tripoli, Greece. He attended Scotch College throughout his upbringing in Adelaide. Kokkinakis also holds Greek citizenship and is a citizen of Paravolakia Pylos. His tennis idol growing up was Marat Safin. Junior career. As a junior, Kokkinakis had a breakthrough when in March 2008 he won the 12-year-old national lawn tennis tournament in Mildura beating Joshua Bray 6-1, 6-2 in the final. This was a big stepping stone after being beaten in the previous 12-year-old national hardcourt tennis tournament in January 2008 by Lachlan Green in straight sets in the round of 16. This tournament was won by Nick Kyrgios. In 2009, Kokkinakis was selected with fellow Australian tennis representatives James Ma, Lee Tu, and Daniel Tallens, on a Tennis Australian European Tour. He has repeatedly said that this tour changed the course of his career. Kokkinakis received a wild card into the 2013 Australian Open Juniors tournament and eventually reached the final, taking down the 12th, 2nd, and 11th seeds on his way. In the final he faced fellow Australian Nick Kyrgios. After having 2 set points in the first set he eventually lost 7-6, 6-3. In June, he returned to competitive play at Wimbledon, and made the third round in the boys' singles and won the boys' doubles with Nick Kyrgios. Kokkinakis lost the final of US Open boys' singles, losing in 3 sets against Borna Coric, 6-3, 3-6, 1-6. Following the result, Kokkinakis reached a career-high junior ranking of 10. Despite still being eligible, Kokkinakis elected not to play junior events in 2014 and instead focused on the men's tour. Professional career. 2011-2013, Professional Tour debut. Kokkinakis began his professional career in March 2011 at the Australia F3 Futures event at the age of 14 where he lost 6-8 in the third set tiebreak to Leon Frost. He recorded his first professional win the following week against Kento Takuchi at the Australia F4 event. He then lost in the second round to Michael Venus. In 2012, after playing futures events in Australia, Slovenia, Germany, and the Netherlands, Kokkinakis equaled his best result of the year by reaching the semi-finals of the Belgium F4 event. He then returned to play futures in Australia, where he reached back-to-back quarterfinals in the F5 and F6 events, losing to Luke Suville both times. He finished the year by reaching the semi-finals at the Australia F12 event, where he lost to Ben Mitchell. He began 2013 by filling in on the United States and German teams during the 2013 Hopman Cup as a replacement for injured John Isner and Tommy Haas. Kokkinakis competed in the qualifying competition of the 2013 Australian Open, losing to Steve Johnson 15-17 in the third set. Kokkinakis sustained a stress fracture in his back in the Australian Open Boys final, which kept him out of competition until mid-2013. He then returned to competition, playing futures tournaments in the Czech Republic, Canada, and the United States, with the highlight being a quarter-final of the Canada F5 event. In September and October, Kokkinakis competed in two challenger events in the United States. The first was the 2013 Napa Valley Challenger, where he qualified and reached the second round, going down to Bradley Clan despite leading by a set. Then in the 2013 Sacramento Challenger he qualified and made the second round. He again lost despite leading by a set against Nick Kyrgios. As a result of this, his ranking increased to a career best of number 655. In October, Kokkinakis paired up with Benjamin Mitchell and won the Melbourne Challenger, defeating Alex Bolt and Andrew Whittington in the final in straight sets. This increased his doubles ranking by 453 places, which put him up to a career high of number 505. He also reached the second round in the singles. He looked like he would cause a big upset after taking the first set against Matt Ebden before losing the next two sets. He finished his year at the 2013 Traralgon Challenger, where he lost in the second round to James Duckworth in straight sets. Despite missing half of the year due to injury, Kokkinakis finished 2013 with a ranking of number 627. 2014, breakthrough to top 200. Kokkinakis began 2014 in qualifying at the 2014 Brisbane International after receiving a wild card. He qualified and drew fellow Australian and eventual tournament champion Leighton Hewitt in round 1, where he went down in straight sets. On January 8, Kokkinakis was awarded a wild card into the 2014 Australian Open. He defeated Igor Sijsling in the first round in 4 sets despite suffering from cramp. He was defeated in the second round by top seed and world number 1 Rafael Nadal. Kokkinakis reached the semis of the 2014 Heilbronner Neckar Cup, coming through the qualifying and beating Jesse Houda-Galung, Michael Russell, and Marcel Hahn. He then lost to number 1 seed Jan-Lennard Struff and missed out on a place in his first ATP Challenger Tour final. Kokkinakis received a wild card in the French Open qualifying rounds, where he made the final, and despite having match point in the third set, he lost to Ante Pavic, 6-4, 6-7, 5-7. This result improved his ranking inside the top 300 for the first time. Kokkinakis won his first singles title in Canada on July 13, defeating Fritz Walmerans in the final. Kokkinakis then qualified for the 2014 Shenzhen Open. He beat Edgar Gerasimov 7-6, 6-1 in the first round for a place in the second round, where he got beaten by 6th seed Santiago Giraldo 6-4, 6-3. Kokkinakis qualified for his second career Masters 1000 in Shanghai, but lost to Feliciano Lopez in the first round 7-6, 3-6, 4-6. Kokkinakis finished 2014 with a ranking of number 150. 2015, breakthrough to top 100. Kokkinakis began 2015 at the Brisbane International, where he received a wild card into the main draw. In the first round he defeated 8th seed Julian Benneteau in straight sets. He lost in the second round against compatriot Bernard Tomic. Kokkinakis and Grigor Dimitrov were also awarded a wild card into the doubles event. They reached the semi-finals, where they lost to Kei Nishikori and Alexander Dolgopolov. Kokkinakis received a wild card also into the 2015 Australian Open, where he defeated 11th seed Ernest Skulbis in the first round, and then lost to compatriot Sam Groth in 5 sets in round 2. In February, Kokkinakis qualified for 3 ATP World Tour events, Memphis, Del Rey, and Mexican Open. In March, Kokkinakis played his first live rubber at the Davis Cup. He defeated Czech Luke Russell in 5 sets, 4-6, 2-6, 7-5, 7-5, 6-3. He was awarded a wild card into Indian Wells where he defeated Jan-Lennard Struff, Guillermo Garcia Lopez and Juan Monaco before losing to Bernard Tomic in the 4th round. Next, he competed in the Miami Open, where he lost in the first round to Carlos Spurlock. Following, he competed in Istanbul Open where he completed 3 rounds of qualifying, but losing in the round of 32 to Dujan Lajovic 6-4, 7-5. Following Istanbul, he qualified for the Madrid Open, and he fell in the first round to Sam Querrey in 3 sets. However, this improved his ranking and broke him into the top 100 for the first time. He won the challenger BNP Paribas Primrose defeating Thema de Backer, then got a wild card into the French Open, where he defeated Nicolas Basilashvili and 27th seed Bernard Tomic in the second round before losing to eventual finalist and world number 1 Novak Djokovic. Kokkinakis began his grass court season at the Queen's Club Championships after being awarded a last-minute wild card following the withdrawal of Kyle Edmund. In his opening match he beat Jeremy Chardy, but lost in the second round to Jill Simon. Kokkinakis was defeated in round 1 of Wimbledon against 24th seed Leonardo Mayer. He also contested the men's doubles with Leighton Hewitt and the pair reached the 3rd round before losing to eventual champions Roger/Teku. Kokkinakis then played for Australia at the Davis Cup quarterfinals where he lost to Mikhail Kukushkin in straight sets. He was then replaced in the reverse singles by Leighton Hewitt who secured Australia a spot in the semi-finals. On August 12, 2015, Nick Kyrgios revealed that Kokkinakis had previously slept with Donna Vekic, alleged girlfriend of Stan Wawrinka, while playing Wawrinka at the Montreal Masters. Kokkinakis later responded to Kyrgios's comments, saying, "I let him know. I made it pretty clear that he can't be doing that. If he's got a problem, he's got to say it in private. The way he went about it definitely wasn't the right thing." In his first match after the incident, he was involved in an altercation with American Ryan Harrison during their qualifying match at the Cincinnati Masters, with one report alleging that Harrison threatened physical violence against Kokkinakis and insulted his crew. Kokkinakis ended the year with a ranking of 80. 2016, injury-plagued year. On December 24, 2015, Kokkinakis announced that he would sit out the entire Australian summer of tennis, including the Australian Open, due to an ongoing left shoulder injury. Kokkinakis also missed the 2016 French Open and 2016 Wimbledon Championships. Kokkinakis' first competitive match in 2016 came at the 2016 Summer Olympics, where he lost in the first round to Gustavo Elias. On August 25, Kokkinakis announced he would miss the US Open due to a pulled pectoral muscle. Kokkinakis later announced his injuries were caused by vanity, as he lifted weights to increase his bicep size, especially with the news that Nike was bringing out new sleeveless tops. 2017, first ATP final event. Kokkinakis made his comeback at the Brisbane International after receiving a wild card in doubles with Jordan Thompson. The duo made it to the final, defeating the top seeds en route, where they won the title, the first Australian duo to win the Brisbane International, defeating Jill Muller and Sam Querrey. Kokkinakis was granted a singles wildcard at the Apia International, where he was scheduled to play Thompson in the first round, but withdrew due to injury. He subsequently withdrew from the Australian Open. In May, Kokkinakis returned to competitive play in doubles with Alex Bolt at Bordeaux Challenger, where they reached the quarter-finals. Using a protective ranking, Kokkinakis played his first singles match since October 2015 at Lyon, losing to Denis Istomin in straight sets. In June, Kokkinakis defeated Mikhail Yuzny at S. Hertogenbosch. This was his first ATP Tour win since August 2015. In the second round, he lost to Daniil Medvedev. The following week, Kokkinakis received a wild card into Queens, where he defeated Milos Raonic in his opening match in straight sets to record his first top 10 victory. He lost to Daniil Medvedev in the second round for the second consecutive week. Entering the Los Cabos Open as a wild card, Kokkinakis first defeated world number 60 Francis Tiafoe in straight tie-breaker sets. He then followed that with two more wins over Peter Polansky and Taylor Fritz to reach the semi-finals. He then upset the first seed and Wimbledon 2017 semi-finalist Tom Berdych to reach his first ATP final, losing to Sam Querrey. In August, Kokkinakis lost in round 1 of the US Open to Janko Tipsarevic. This was his final match of the year and ended 2017 with a singles rank of 209. 2018, victory over Federer. Kokkinakis commenced the year at the Australian Open, but lost to Daniil Medvedev in round 1. In March, Kokkinakis lost qualifying for Indian Wells, before qualifying for the 2018 Miami Open, where he defeated world number 1 Roger Federer in the second round in 3 sets, 3-6-6, 3-7-6, gaining the biggest victory of his career. He lost to Fernando Verdasco in the third round, in a close third-set tiebreaker. He suffered another setback when cracking a kneecap at the Monte Carlo Masters. In May, Kokkinakis lost in the second round of qualifying of the French Open, and in June, in the third round of qualifying of Wimbledon. In July, Kokkinakis lost in the first round at Atlanta and Los Cabos, but reached the final of the doubles in Los Cabos. In August, Kokkinakis returned the Challenger Tour and won both the singles and doubles titles at Nordic Naturals. The victory marked Kokkinakis' second singles Challenger title and first since 2015. 2019, injuries. In January 2019, Kokkinakis qualified for and lost in the first round of the 2019 Brisbane International. Kokkinakis qualified for the 2019 Australian Open, but retired in the first round against Taro Daniel. In April, Kokkinakis returned to the ATP Challenger Tour in Barletta, reaching the second round before withdrawing with an injury. In July, Kokkinakis returned to the Challenger Tour in Winnetka, but withdrew before his semi-final match because of an injury. The injury kept him out of the 2019 French Open and Wimbledon. In July, Kokkinakis was awarded a wild card into 2019 Los Cabos Open. He defeated Maxime Janvier in the first round to record his first win on the ATP Tour in 492 days, when he defeated Roger Federer at the 2018 Miami Open. He then backed up that win at the 2019 US Open, where he took out Ilya Ivashka in 4 sets, setting up a second-round meeting with second seed Rafael Nadal. Moments before the match, however, he was forced to withdraw due to a right shoulder injury. In September, Kokkinakis reached the final of the Tiburon Challenger, where he went on to lose to Tommy Paul in 3 sets. 2021, return. For the 2021 Australian Open, Kokkinakis was selected as a wild card for the men's singles draw after 2 years of injury setbacks. He won his first main draw singles match at the Australian Open since 2015 against Kwon Soon-woo in straight sets before losing to 5th seed Stefanos Tsitsipas in a 4.5-hour, epic 5-set match. Kokkinakis also qualified for the Miami Masters, where after beating fellow qualifier Shintaro Mochizuki, he lost in the second round to 29th seed Martin Fucsovics in a tightly contested 3-set match. He consistently made a string of quarterfinals at challenger events, reaching the stage in both split events, the second event in Rome and the first event in Biella. He reached his first challenger final in almost 2 years, and won his first challenger title in almost 3 at the second Biella Challenger, beating Enzo Quacout in the final. After failing to qualify for the French Open, Kokkinakis' next event was Nottingham, where he lost in a tight 3-set match to defending champion and top seed Dan Evans. Kokkinakis was again given a wild card into the tournament in Los Cabos, a tournament he had made the finals in 4 years prior. He would lose in the first round to Denis Kudla. In July, Kokkinakis made the semi-finals of another challenger in Lexington, beating Christian Harrison, Juan Pablo Fakovic, and top seed Jenson Brooksby before losing in the semi-finals to Alejandro Tabillo in 3 sets. In September, he reached the final of a second challenger for 2021 at the 2021 Cebu Open, where he was defeated by Stefano Travaglia. Kokkinakis ended 2021 with an ATP singles rank of 171. 2022, first ATP singles and major doubles titles, back to top 100, doubles top 20 and ATP finals. Kokkinakis began his season as a wild card at home in the first Adelaide tournament, beating John Millman in straight sets and 4th seed Francis Tiafoe after being a set and a break down. He defeated Mikael Ymer in the quarterfinals to reach a first semi-final on the ATP Tour in almost 5 years. In the semi-final, he was defeated by top seed and eventual champion Gael Monfils in straight sets. At the second tournament, Kokkinakis bettered his result, beating Benoit Paire, second seed John Isner and fellow Australian wildcard Aleksandar Vukic. He defeated third seed Marin Ili in the semi-finals after saving 2 match points to reach the second final of his career, the first since 2017. He defeated Arthur Rinderknech in the final in 3 sets to win his first ATP Tour-level singles title. Kokkinakis was awarded a wild card into the 2022 Australian Open, where he lost to qualifier Yannick Hanfmann in straight sets. He received a wild card into the doubles as well, where he partnered with Nick Kyrgios. Kokkinakis and Kyrgios advanced to the quarterfinals, upsetting top seeds Nikola Mektic and Mate Pavic and 15th seeds Ariel Beer and Gonzalo Escobar on their way there. They beat 6th seeds Tim Putz and Michael Venus to reach the semi-finals. This was the most Australians to progress to this stage at this major in 29 years, including their fellow Australians Ebden/Purcell, and the first time 2 All-Australian pairs contested the semi-finals since 1985. They defeated third seeds Marcel Granollers and Horatio Zeballos in the semi-final to advance to the final. The final against Matthew Ebden and Max Purcell was the first All-Australian doubles final since 1980. Kokkinakis and Kyrgios won their first doubles Grand Slam in straight sets, becoming the first All-Australian men's doubles champions at the Australian Open since Todd Woodbridge and Mark Woodforde triumphed in 1997. As a result, he moved to the top 50 in the doubles rankings at number 46 on January 31, 2022. At his next 2 tournaments in Delray Beach and Indian Wells, Kokkinakis lost in straight sets in the first round to Sebastian Corda. In the doubles at Indian Wells, partnering Kyrgios, he lost to eventual champions John Isner and Jack Sock in the second round. He eventually won a first-round match in Miami against Richard Gasquet in straight sets, and saved a match point before recovering to upset 13th seed Diego Schwartzman in 3 sets for his first top 20 win since beating Roger Federer 4 years prior. He beat qualifier Denis Kudla in the third round in a third-set tiebreak to reach the 4th round at a Masters for the first time since 2015, Indian Wells. He lost to second seed and world number 3 Alexander Zverev in straight sets in the 4th round. In the doubles, again partnering Kyrgios, he reached the semi-finals, beating Granollers and Zaballos a second time on their way. The pair lost to eventual champions Hubert Hurkacz and John Isner in the semi-finals. Kokkinakis played his first clay court tournament of 2022 in Geneva, where in the first round, he upset Fabio Fognini in straight sets, then beat 7th seed Federico Dolbanese in 3 sets to reach the quarter-finals. There, he lost to 2nd seed and defending champion Casper Ruud in straight sets. At the 2022 Wimbledon Championships he recorded his first win at this major over Kamil Majkrak. In the second round, Kokkinakis lost to number 1 seed and eventual champion Novak Djokovic in straight sets. In Atlanta, Kokkinakis lost in the first round of the singles against wildcard Andres Martin. In the doubles, he won his second title with Kyrgios, beating fellow Australians Jason Kubler and John Peers. The following week in Los Cabos, as the 7th seed, Kokkinakis beat Fernando Verdasco in 3 sets before losing to Steve Johnson in the second round. Kokkinakis and Kyrgios qualified for the 2022 ATP Finals in Turin as a result of being guaranteed to stay inside the top 20 as a pair and having won the Australian Open. Performance timelines. Singles. Current through the 2022 US Open. Kokkinakis withdrew before the second round of the 2019 US Open, which does not count as a loss. Doubles. Significant finals. Grand Slam finals. Doubles, 1. ATP Career Finals. Singles, 2. Doubles, 4. ATP Challengers and ITF Futures Finals. Singles, 7. Doubles, 5. Junior Grand Slam Finals. Singles, 2. Doubles, 1. National representation. Davis Cup. Kokkinakis made his Davis Cup debut for Australia in February 2014 against France at the age of 17. He was selected to play in the 4th rubber, which was a dead rubber. He lost in straight sets to Julian Benneteau. He made his debut in a live rubber in 2015 with a comeback 5-set win over Luke Russell. Record against top 10 players. Kokkinakis match record against players who have been ranked in the top 10, with those who are active in boldface. Only ATP Tour main draw and Davis Cup matches are considered.